I'm Queenie Yu from Bullet Point News. Joining me today is Matt Fasullo, who is an artist from Stouffville. He has recently released the single Video 99, which alludes to nostalgia and his childhood video store. He started singing in 2014 and draws inspiration from his life and favorite singers. Moreover, his creativity goes beyond music since he has studied film, C sharp, and Unity, allowing him to express his passions and storytelling through the commercial industry, XR games, and virtually immersive experiences. Matt, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Matt. How do you define a mixing engineer, and which projects have you taken on that role?
Oh man. So the way I define a mixing engineer, I guess, is just somebody who takes all the sound and makes it sound good. Um, yeah, that's basically it. And in terms of the stuff that I've worked on, recently I've been working a lot with this company called Decium. They work with the Abnormal Beauty Company, and I've been doing their mixing, their scores for these short little behind the scenes documentaries they've been making.
What advice would you give to your younger self and those looking for careers in creative fields? What drives you the most during your creative processes?
Oh man, uh, to my younger self, I think I would probably tell myself to not be so hard on myself, because it's pretty tough out there, especially wanting to be a creative. It's just a lot of work, and you don't have to try to appeal to everybody and cater to everybody. You should really just, not worry about what everyone thinks of you and just focus on yourself and what makes you happy. And yeah, just not worry too much about what people think of you mainly.
You've worked on notable brands such as Adidas, Kappa. How has your experience within the commercial and tech industry influenced your music?
Oh, well, it's actually had a significant impact on the way I approach sound design within my music because I did a lot of sound effects and sound design on those brands, um, and because of that, I've approached how I record my music in terms of what kind of instruments I use or what kind of percussion I'll use. So instead of using just a standard drum kit, maybe I'll use, I don't know, just like a bunch of grains of rice to get some sound, in a percussive way, kind of like using like like a maraca or something, right? Um, or I'll sample uh, like an old video cassette. Um, just getting sounds in unique ways, I find is how that's changed my music.
Your recent single, Video 99, is an ode to a past video store in Stouffville. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, on Main Street, right where I believe it's Baskin Robbins is right now, right in the plaza with where Giant Tiger is or was. I haven't been there in a while. There used to be a video store called Video 99, and it's just burned in my memory because every weekend I would go there and we'd rent a movie and a game. Every Friday night, it was a movie and a game, and that's I just have a lot of cherished like memories of going there and browsing the walls of the video store. And even when I think to like Blockbuster, that didn't have the same impact as a place like this, because this was owned independently, and um, I really miss that era of my life just because of the simplicity of it and the lack of worry and stuff like that. But the song also touches upon a lot of generational trauma, in the second verse mainly I talk a lot about like some pretty bad experiences I've had when I was younger. And so it's kind of the song is kind of a two sides of one coin. On one side there's a lot of nostalgia, a lot of happy memories, but on the other side there's a lot of stuff that has impacted me to this day that I'm not, I'm still recovering from. So I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but it's yeah, that's basically what the song's about. And mainly, I really do miss that video store. I'll never forget the name, and that's why I just thought it's a perfect name for a song, and I have to make a song about that place.
You have a diverse range of skills, including composing, mixing, producing, directing, and writing. Which do you enjoy most?
I mean, writing music, writing music. Although I have discovered recently that I love to perform music, uh, actually more than make it. So this year I've decided to try and get as many shows as possible, because I'm just discovering that there's nothing more fun than actually performing the music I make. Um, because it's less lonely, I guess. When I'm writing music, I'm usually doing it alone. But when I'm performing music with a band, there's just a camaraderie on stage, especially when you have a good rapport with your bandmates. It's very, it's like it just gets all the dopamine flowing. It's really great. That's probably what I'm most passionate about right now.
You're set to perform at the NXNE Music Festival and the Drake Underground this June in Toronto. What can fans expect from your live performances?
Um, well, what they can expect is someone who is actually pretty shy on stage, trying their best to not come off as shy. um, but in actuality, I think that I'm I'm trying to entertain the best I can. So I just want people to expect good music, good vibes, and um, all around, I want them to find something that they want to go listen to when they go home.
In a recent article, you shared that your goal for 2023 is to release a full length record. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Video 99 is the first single off of a record that I'm releasing near the end of the year. That is the plan. Hopefully that doesn't get delayed, but I have 5 singles planned, once every month and a bit. Um, and the album's called Good Company, and it's basically a record about me learning how to come to terms with who I am and be happy with myself and who I've become as a person. Um, just overall, thematically, that's what it's about. And I started recording it just about the beginning of the pandemic or just before the pandemic. Um, Actually, yeah, before the pandemic. So it's been a while. I've been sitting on these songs for a while. I recorded all of them, and then I didn't do anything with them for about a year because I was like trying to figure out the best way to release them. And then I realized, okay, you know what, I have to pay people to promote this because it's too much work to do alone. And so ever since then, I got a job and I'm doing everything I can to make the money so that I can support myself creatively to the best of my ability.
You're passionate about storytelling in video games. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I just, I mean, especially with video games, I think I love it. I love video games more than any medium of creative storytelling. Um, just because I think it melds together everything that I love, whether it be filmmaking or music, or any kind of interactive medium. I especially love video games like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part Two, and um, I mean, yeah, I guess those are my two favorites. um, I just think it's just such a crazy industry, and it's had such a significant impact on how I approach my creative process and how I approach making music as well. Because a lot of film scores and a lot of video game scores have they've influenced the sound of my music in a lot of ways, even in ways that I don't even realize. But I just grew up listening to a lot of that kind of stuff. So video games are just a big part of my life, and I play them every single day for multiple hours. So they are bound to have some kind of impact.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us at Bullet Point News today.
No, thank you so much for having me.